Oh, what's going on, everybody? Sorry, I'm not feeling that good because I have musky fever. Holy cow, I caught this on a whopper plopper 6-pound line. This is one of the biggest muskies I ever caught in West Virginia. He did get a little muddy. We're gonna get him back in here. Gonna get this guy all nice and cleaned up. Okay, buddy, you ready? Oh, you got in some serious mud there on the shoreline. Oh, what do you think? All right, let's let him go. Let me hold him in here. Yes, 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 yes. All right, everybody, as you can see, I was super excited to catch that muskie because I'm gonna put that like in my top 10 best catches because I was not prepared at all to catch a muskie that day. My gear was super light. I had a medium light rod, had a smaller reel, 6-pound line, no leader at all, a small swivel because I was using lures. Here is the whopper plopper that I caught on. This is a true whopper plopper in the color bone. Luckily, the muskie got the back hook, and basically this is a 90. It's 3.5 inches long. This was pretty much acting as my leader. I got the muskie in the shore like 4 different times. It jumped a whole bunch of times. Maybe some skill, maybe some luck, but by luck, I got that thing in on the fifth time. My buddy jumped down with me there, and together, and huge shout out to him. Thank you so much to him that we landed that muskie. I said it got a little muddy because there was some mud on the shoreline there, and it kind of flipped one time, got mud. But I got the mud cleaned off of it, got it revived, and let it go. It was awesome. And the reason I'm so happy that I caught it, well, it was a muskie, but the one reason I was happy that I caught it and got it and released it is I was so convinced that it was going to break off because it did jump a couple times, and the last thing you want to do is when you lose a fish that breaks off is you know that there's a lure stuck in its lip. It happens, but as a fisherman I hate when that happens because it stinks that a fish is out there swimming around with a lure stuck in its lip. Now I know sometimes they can flip around and get the lure out and stuff like that, but I'm really glad that I landed that fish, of course, because it was a muskie and it didn't have this whopper plopper hanging out of his lip and stuff like that. So it was one of my favorite catches, best one of the year so far, I would say. You know what I mean? Had a huge blast, and I really do have musky fever. All right, now let's talk about the baits we're going to make this evening. So I have pulled down a pour bait. This is one of my go-to baits when it comes to musky fishing. This is the 7¼ inch swim bait from Angling AI. As you can see, tons of detail, just a hunk of plastic going through the water. But when you do a capsule pour, you can do all kinds of detail. We are going to do a lot of detail, even though we're going to make a solid color bait. So it comes with a hook slot, but you could also take it out and make it delete. I use the hook slot because I use a like 12 or a 10-aught beast hook when I'm using this. Like I said, you need a pretty good size hook because it is a pretty good size bait, and like I said, we're going for musky. So on the color, I'm going to plain Pearl White from Lure Works. I'm going to put a couple drops of dead on plastic in that, but where our capsule pour comes into play, that's where we're going to do our detail. So I have pulled out my glitter that has the 4 sizes, which is in 0.15, 25, 35, and 40. One scoop of that really gives your bait detail when you're doing a capsule pour. But this time, I'm going to add one more thing to our capsule pour. I'm going to add some siren scales from 8-Bit Baits. This is in the color Glimmer Fin right there, just to kind of give it that extra pop and stuff. Then, after we do all that, we are going to do some dusting. Dusting means you take a brush and you take like a powder pigment and you dust it on there, and it makes some really cool effects. But not only are we going to do like a powder, we're going to do hollow shift from 8-Bit Baits. I have pulled out some ghost trout. We're going to put that on the top half of the bait. And I have pulled out some Crown Royal from 8-Bit Baits. We're going to do that on the belly. And we're going to do some dotting paint. This is paint from Lure Works made to go on plastic. We're going to do some like maybe bluegill lines, perch lines, however you want to take it and stuff like that. But we're definitely just going to put a bunch of lines on it. But I think with all that detailing and then just putting a Pearl White, it'll make that hollow shift just appear every once in a while, have like a sheen to it. So as that bait's going through the water back and forth, you'll see that Crown Royal and that ghost trout, you know, just kind of every once in a while and stuff like that. Should be a pretty cool. I've never really tried this complete like this. Really cool that we're putting siren scales in the capsule pour. But like I said, I have been talking long enough. Got the plastic out. Let's get our capsule pour ready, and I'll meet you back here on the desk when we start making this musky bait. All right, everybody, we have got our capsule pour here. Look at those siren scales with that glitter in there. Looking pretty sweet. Now, I want to take the Crown Royal and do the belly. We're going to do some dusting like I was saying. I'm going to turn this to the side. And I don't want to do the head. I want to stay behind the gill plate. And I'm going to do the belly here. So we're just going to take a little bit. Just going to get it on there. And I'm not trying to stay straight. I want this to look really natural, even though I know this is kind of a crazy bait. I'm going to get this all spread out. Make sure you get it down to the edges. Bring it up here on the tail a little bit. Get a little bit more on the belly here. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I will tell you that it's not siren scales, the hollow shift, it's like dust. It goes everywhere. But just like that, you can barely see it, and then you can really see it when you like put it sideways. See how it catches your eye there? Let me get the other side, the top done. I'm going to do the same thing with the top, and I'll show you the complete here in just a minute. All right, everybody, we are putting some detail on this. I've already done one side. Just getting a little bit of this paint off. I'm doing pretty skinny stripes. I'm just barely putting it on there. I got my molds lined up so I can keep my stripes pretty much the same. And just like that, we have got ourselves a detailed hollow shift dusted mold with a capsule pour, and we are going to do LureWorks Pearl Powder, and I'm going to whiten it up with some Dead on Plastic white, just making a plain white, but I would say with a lot of detail, you know, a bait here. Also, everything that I'm shooting tonight is going to be in Dead on Plastic's Crawling 2. We want that harder blend because we're going for toothy fish. So I'm going to get everything set up. We're going to get this on the hot plate. I'm going to mix some white pearl. I'll tell you how I'll mix. I'm just going to go ahead and mix it because it's going to be like some pearl and a few drops of white. But the next time you see this, we pour in this mold on the hot plate, which is right over here. All right, everybody, we are in the middle of pouring this. Thought I'd show you a little bit of me pouring it. I'm going to the tail right now. I just started in the head. Work my way back. Haven't poured for a while. A little shaky. Get it all filled up. So the pearl, this is in a half a cup. I did 1/8 of a teaspoon of LureWorks Pearl and 6 drops of Dead on Plastic's white, which gave us this really pretty pearly white. And that's going to do it. A few little drips there in the tail, but I think we'll be all right. We'll let that cook for about 10 minutes, then let it cool down for a while, and then we'll open it up and see how our first musky bait turns out. All right, everybody, let's take a look at our first musky bait of the evening. Let's see if my plan came out with doing some dusting, but using a white pearl backing there. So, oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome. See, white pearl top, and then that sheen on the side with the dusting there. Did a little detail in the head there. Let's get that out of there. Let's go ahead and pull it off the hook slot. As that's going through the water, it'll kick those colors around. See how it goes back and forth? Then those siren scales in there. Oh, it looks amazing. Heck yeah. Cool. Did a little detail around the eyes. We'll put the eyes on them because I am going to do another musky bait too. So nice white tail. She catched her eyes. White head. And then as it goes through the water, look at that Crown Royal belly. And then the ghost trout top. Oh, it looks awesome. I'll take that. That's awesome. All right, so I have pulled some colors down for our next one. I want to do one more. This one's going to have a lot of detail in it. So I did a clear capsule pour for this one. I've never done this, but I want to try something. Let's do a transparent chartreuse from MF capsule pour. Do some detail on it. And then our 3 main colors, I'm going to do this sweet tater as like the chest area because we're going for like a bluegill / perch kind of color. And then for the belly, since we had a bone whopper plopper and we know muskie like that color, I pulled down bone for the belly. This is bone white. And then for our top color, I have pulled down this Dead On Plastics Goose Turd. Yes, that's exactly what it's called. It's called Goose Turd. So I think between these 4 colors, some detailing on the capsule pour, I think we can come up with a really cool bluegilly / perch kind of pattern, stuff like that. So I'm going to get everything ready, get it start cooking, and we'll start making our next bait. But this one right here, let's take another good look at it, is looking pretty sweet, if I do say so myself. All right, everybody, let me show you a capsule pour. So I'm going to start here at the tail. I'm going to pour over this lip, kind of bend it down to the head, pour a little bit of it out, and boom, right there. And then I did this one already. Look at this capsule pour. That is really, really cool. Like I said, we'll let these cool down for a few minutes, clean them up. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, we did our capsule pour in that transparent chartreuse. I put 5 drops in half a cup. And look at that. Did some bars for the detailing, did around the eyes. Came out looking pretty sweet. I'm excited to see how this color is going to bounce off of those 3 colors right there. So I'm going to get the plastic in there, and let's do the chest next. We'll do the sweet tater next. All right, you saw the detail, and I did do the orange off camera. I just poured a little bit down there in the bottom. What I do is I usually just take like my knife and I just kind of put it like this to give it just a little bit of an angle, and I poured the chest / like front of the head area there orange. Now we're gonna get this on the hot plate, heat it up, start making our belly color, which is bone, and then we'll make the top color. All right, everybody, we have got this poured. The belly color's in there and the top color's in there. I didn't want to bore you all with this long pour because it does take a few seconds to get each layer poured, but we got it all in there. Got it cooking on the hot plate for about 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna let it cool down, then we'll pop it open and see how our second musky bait turns out this evening. All right, everybody, I'm super excited about this one. Let's see if this new idea of a transparent color, besides clear, works pretty good as a capsule when pouring a bait. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cool. So it kind of gave a yellow base to our bone and the orange. That'll work. That's really cool. It did turn that bone pretty yellow though. That's pretty cool. Our orange stayed pretty orange with a little bit of green. And so there is Goose Turd by itself. And then there it is with the transparent chartreuse on it. That looks really good. I'm psyched. That is so cool. All right, we're gonna get the other one back out, and we're gonna put some eyes on these, and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, everybody, we have got some eyes on our baits. I am a sucker for red eye, y'all know that, but I just think a red eye on a white bait looks really good, especially this one with all the detail around the eye and then the bars and stuff. And of course, we do have that awesome shimmer on the sides there, from like a violet purple to like a good green. That is a good looking bait. And I went with a big pupil eye for this one. I like the gold and the red, kind of orange around it. Kind of, I think it went best with the bait. And look at those lines. Lots of detail. Good pour, nice level. I am digging both of these baits. And I would definitely be taking these out once they cure and see if I can catch a muskie on them. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for this one. I appreciate you watching, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, give this video a like, give it a share, and leave me a comment down below telling me what you thought of the musky baits that I made this evening. I think they came out looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. But I say that about all my baits in every video. But I definitely will take these to the river soon and see if I can catch another muskie on them, because it is musky season. So, also, if you notice, I have another microwave. I went out today and got another microwave because I wanted to run 2 microwaves from now on. Sometimes these microwaves get a little too hot; they don't heat up as good. So now I have 2, and I can also, like, make colors faster, stuff like that. We really didn't need 2 today because when you're doing pour molds, you have plenty of time, because it is a time-consuming, bait making process. But I really do enjoy making pour baits because you can put a lot of detail and almost make them look like a painted lure and stuff like that. So, but if you'll notice, there's plenty of room here and on the front for stickers. Just let everybody know that I do have a P.O. box down in the description below. So if anybody wants to send me a sticker or anything, definitely do. And you just might see your sticker on the front of this microwave or the side. So, but like I said before, that's going to do it for this one. But before we go, let's take a look at these baits.